Hey guys, it's Pastor Russ giving you your leadership podcast. We hope this has been an encouragement to you. Pastor Daniel and I are alternating back and forth talking about the subject of vision. And today I have the task of mainly answering this question. Why is it important that everything begin with vision? So vision sets a clear picture of what could be, and it calls for conviction and action until it comes to be in our team. So it's setting the target that collectively as a team we are shooting for. It's essential in keeping us focused on the main thing. It's essential in helping our teams long-term, sustaining and keeping unity. And without vision, it is very difficult for us to measure whether or not our teams are actually effective or not. So it sets a target, it sets a goal, it sets a picture of what could be. It unifies us around that, and then ultimately we go to work towards that picture. Now, a vision always gives you equity once it's clear and understood by those that are on your team to then go about instituting change. So the changes, the alignment of ministry, the evaluation of ministry, and the way that we change those things up, those all are tied to a clear vision that's understood. In fact, it's not that people are, even with clear vision, there's going to be times where people are opposed to change, but when the vision is clear, it's a lot easier to justify why change must happen, and it's not merely the preference of a leader or just because we're bored and we want to do something new. It ultimately comes down to how can we most effectively get what we're trying to do done. And so for us, our vision at Resurrection Church is to equip the church to get the things God calls great done. And so that's what we've been focusing on. So here's why. And when it comes to that vision, you have to lead with that in two primary areas that I want to talk to you about. Number one is we must lead with vision when we go to correct, and we must lead with vision when it comes to celebrating wins. Number one, we must lead with vision when it comes to correction. Here's why. Most team problems we have are really vision problems. Now, they could be vision problems for multiple reasons. They could be a vision problem because we've forgotten the vision. That's vision drift or just moving away from the original idea. And over time, this is natural. If you're not reminding people of the main things, you end up forgetting what the main things are and kind of rewriting them within the sphere of your own preferences and comfort levels. So it may be, if you're having problems within your team, that vision has been forgotten and you need correction because it's just not remembered. So it could be in correction that you lead with vision to remind them of, hey, here's what we exist to do. Here's what our team has set out as far as vision and goals for us to achieve in this next season. Another reason why you may have to lead with vision and correction is because people have never committed to the vision. So maybe the end problem is you've rolled the vision out, you've laid out, hey, we believe this is what we have to do method-wise in order to achieve where we're wanting to go, and we have to go there because staying here will mean that we'll plateau. Staying here may mean that we'll ultimately be unsuccessful with what we've set out as our main goals. And so it may be that you have a team member that's not committed, and instead of coming in and just being frustrated with them or exasperated with them, it may mean that you have to come back to the table and say, hey, as a team and as a ministry, we have agreed that we're going to shoot to do this. Are you not on the same page with us with that? And so by leading in with those probing questions, it gets you an opportunity to reestablish whether or not the disconnect is that they've forgotten the vision, or maybe that they've never committed to the vision. Or finally, it may be a problem where they've seen, or the team has seen and you're seeing, that the way that you went about trying to achieve the vision, not that the vision was bad, but the methods were bad. Maybe you saw that the methods were ineffective, and it's time to evaluate on the basis of your original goal. And so again, you lead with vision and correction because most team problems we're experiencing are problems with vision, meaning vision has been forgotten. Vision is something we've not committed to, or maybe it's time to evaluate the methods we put into practice to get from where we were to where we wanted to go. Secondly, you got to lead with vision when it comes to celebrating wins. Otherwise, we're just doing what anybody else does, and that's correcting the obvious things that anyone can see. So the obvious wins that are out there are people are showing up. People seem to be happy. Maybe there's someone who's responding in some way to what we're doing, and we're like, man, that's it. That's how we know we're hitting the mark. But at the end of the day, vision really sets the opportunity for you to define wins based on that future goal that you're going towards. I wrote this down. If it's a win and worthy of celebration, that means it's moved the needle towards the vision becoming a reality. The vision of where you're wanting to go and the vision of what you believe it's going to look like has ultimately, through the work and efforts of the team, become more and more of a reality and not just a future picture of what you hope it will look like one day. At the end, if you celebrate wins that aren't necessarily vision oriented, what will end up happening is you'll have a major fight with vision drift because you're celebrating things that aren't actually towards the picture of what you're trying to become. You're just celebrating any and everything you can find. And while those things aren't necessarily bad, what it does in time is it begins to celebrate behavior that's not necessarily marking us or moving us towards effectiveness in executing our vision. So when it comes to correction and when it comes to celebrations, it's important that we lead with vision every time.